The front door clicked open. A sound that was usually a comforting melody in the symphony of our home now jarred against my senses, like a discordant note. Rachel was home, later than usual. But it wasn't her timing that unsettled me. It was her smile. Bright, almost incandescent, the kind she usually reserved for anniversaries or the day we brought our puppy home. But tonight, it felt like a mask, a carefully crafted facade that didn't quite reach her eyes. I was sitting at my desk in the study, the glow of my laptop casting a soft, bluish hue across the room. For 2 weeks, I had immersed myself in meticulous planning, scripting, and building. This wasn't a whim. It was the crescendo of months of quiet observations, lingering doubts, and moments that passed like shadows. Fleeting glances at her phone, late-night works calls, and the distant, almost hollow way she began to look at me. The slow burn of suspicion had ignited into a raging inferno. "Hey," she called out, her voice unnaturally cheery, the pitch just a fraction too high. "How was your day?" I looked up from my work, schooling my features into a calm, neutral mask. "It was fine. Quiet. Yours?" My tone was steady, hiding the storm brewing beneath the surface. "Oh, the usual. Just a lot." She breezed into the kitchen, the clinking of dishes and the hum of the refrigerator filling the silence between us. A lot, I thought bitterly, like the lot of time spent with another man. I let her fuss around, using the familiar rhythm of the sounds to steel myself for what was to come. This wouldn't be an outburst or a shouting match. I had moved past anger and sadness. What I felt now was colder, a calculated resolve. Minutes later, she appeared in the doorway, a glass of wine in hand. The brilliance of her earlier smile had dimmed, replaced by something closer to nervousness. She looked like a cornered animal, gauging the danger ahead. "What are you working on?" she asked, her eyes darting to my laptop screen. Her casual tone couldn't mask the wariness beneath. I leaned back, letting a faint, almost imperceptible smile play on my lips. "Just a little project," I said. "Something I've been meaning to finish for a while." She stepped closer, curiosity, or perhaps fear, pulling her forward. "What kind of project?" Her voice faltered slightly. I stood, pushing my chair back. "I think it's better if I show you." I circled the desk, placing my hands lightly on her shoulders. She flinched, the touch unfamiliar now, alien. Guiding her toward my chair, I gestured for her to sit. Her wide eyes, clouded with apprehension, searched mine for clues. Once she was seated, I retrieved a small USB drive from my pocket. Simple, unassuming, yet holding the culmination of weeks of meticulous effort. The screen flickered as I plugged it in, revealing a website. At first glance, it seemed ordinary, but at its core it was anything but. At the top, a series of photographs loaded, grainy yet unmistakable. Her, at the bar the previous night, under the guise of a work event. Laughing, touching, kissing another man. Beneath the photos lay the heart of my creation, an interactive timeline. Every phone call, text message, and late-night outing was recorded, time-stamped, and cross-referenced with call logs and GPS data. Each lie she had spun unraveled before her eyes. Her face turned ashen as she absorbed the irrefutable evidence. Her lips trembled as she whispered, "How? How did you?" I pointed at the screen. "It's all there, Rachel. Every lie, every betrayal, every secret." Tears spilled from her eyes as she shook her head, denial spilling from her lips like a mantra. "No, no, no. You can't do this. Please, I'm begging you." Her pleas washed over me like waves against stone. I had anticipated them, rehearsed my response. "I'm not the one who did this, Rachel. You made your choices. You sowed the seeds. Now, you'll reap what you've planted." Desperation overtook her as she lunged for the keyboard, fingers scrabbling to erase what couldn't be undone. I stepped back, letting her flail in futility. Her sobs grew louder, punctuated by broken apologies. "It was a mistake," she cried. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "A mistake?" I echoed, my voice cold and steady. "Mistakes happen once. You made yours repeatedly, knowingly, with intent. Now you get to live with the consequences. I turned away, leaving her there, a broken figure before her digital confessional. I packed my bag in silence, walked out the door, and drove to the airport, a one-way ticket already booked. As the plane ascended, I gazed out the window at the city lights, shimmering like fragments of a shattered past. I wasn't angry. I wasn't sad. I was free.